And we are back for part 2 of the JJ Sports podcast. Last time we talked about basketball and baseball, our predictions for both. And before we continue, I just want to point out, going back to the baseball for a second, 18 strikeouts. That's how many strikeouts the Rays had in the last game against the Yankees.
You're saying they pitched 18 strikeouts or they struck out 18 times?
Pitched 18 strikeouts. 10 from Glasnow, 2 from Diego Castillo, 4 from Nick Anderson, and the last 2 from
Fairbanks.
Pete Fairbanks. Thank you. So just an incredible stat. I just wanted to point that out. Next up, though, not America's game.
Enough of this crap. Let's move on to football already.
America's game, Cowboys, Broncos. Not America's game, but it's America's team.
Wrong.
It's
Browns.
Cowboys, Giants.
It was Jets, Broncos.
Cowboys, Browns.
This week, I was saying.
Yes.
Oh, you said Browns?
Yeah, I said Browns. What do you think I said?
I heard
I
Broncos.
said Broncos, I heard.
I could have sworn you said Broncos.
Y'all are delusional.
Roll the tape.
Y'all are delusional.
Roll the tape.
No, but
anyways, how do we feel about the Browns actually being decent for a change?
wait, before we talk about it, can we talk about the Trevor Bowl first because it happened first?
Trevor Bowl okay, fine.
I just want to point out that the Jets in the last 2 years have been part of 3 very important bowl games. Okay,
Bowl.
First, no, but they're all tank bowls, but they're very important. Okay, ready? First, the Tua Bowl, which they lost because they lost the game, and they didn't get Tua because they had a better record than the Dolphins, and they gave the Dolphins their first win of the season. And then the Burrow Bowl, because they lost the game.
The battle for Burrow.
And the Bengals got Burrow because they had a worse record, but they won their first game of the season against the Jets. And then finally, the Trevor Bowl, because the Jets lost the game. The Broncos won one of their only good games with a third-string quarterback. And because of all the consistency, they're probably going to get Trevor Lawrence.
The Broncos, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know how.
He threw 3 interceptions total on the night, but I think 2 of them were in the 4th, and one of them was a pick 6, if I remember correctly.
Who, Rippin or Darnold?
Rippin, yeah.
And he still won.
Speaking of terrible quarterbacks, Dwayne Haskins got benched.
Yeah.
You know who's starting over him?
Well, Colt McCoy's gone, and Alex Smith is injured, right?
So Alex Smith is going to be the backup.
Wait a second. Don't tell me it's that guy that's been on like every team, Josh Johnson.
It's not Josh Johnson.
Okay. You want to give me a hint?
Who is it?
Is it the butt fumble?
No, it's not the butt fumble.
He was on the team, wasn't he?
He was on the team for like 5 minutes.
He was for for what Sammy said.
Who is it?
Who was the quarterback for the Panthers last year?
Well,
it was Cam Newton.
I mean, no, Kyle Allen.
No, it wasn't.
Oh my God.
Kyle Allen.
Oh
yes.
My God.
Kyle Allen is taking the reins against the Rams on Sunday.
Remember when Kyle Allen was good?
No.
Neither do I. Exactly. Nah, but damn. Okay, yeah. So yeah, back to the Cowboys Browns. What did you say, Sammy?
How do you feel about the Browns being decent for a change?
I got 4 words for you. How about them Cowboys? Woohoo! Stephen A's.
And what are they? 1-3 now? 1-3 in a game that was gifted to them as well. A game they should have very much lost. They
literally had the comeback happening. It was like primed to happen.
That was not the Cowboys being good. That was the Falcons imploding. Let's get that straight. I don't care that they still put up 40 points, right? Because they just as easily could have lost that game as they basically had it gifted to them in the 4th quarter and won.
It was gift wrap, bro, for Christmas.
Oh boy, the Bears are playing Brady this week.
It's tomorrow night.
You know what Steve would say?
Yes, I do.
The Bears are effed.
I do know what he would say, Joey.
He would say Gronk Super Bowl. Inside joke. Anyway, so, but like, yeah, I gotta appreciate Cowboys falling to their amazing number one kryptonite, OBJ, because even if OBJ has a bad year, he's still gonna fuck up the Cowboys.
Oh man, He's always played well
play?
against them.
Do you see that last play against them? Oh my God, that was nice. That run by OBJ.
Yeah, that was nothing short of insane.
The Browns did suffer a little in that game though, because now Chubb is,
Which I would be concerned about if they didn't have a guy named Kareem Hunt on the team. So
that is true. And even their third string, I don't remember what the guy's name was.
You know what they say? You
brought,
can't spell Kareem Hunt without
come in and
Hunt.
play split time with Hunt once Chubb had officially been ruled out the rest of the game. And he balled out, to say the least, with whatever time he was given, at least.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt, he's a major league.
You can't spell Kareem Hunt without Cunt.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's talk about another team that's.
Okay.
Let's talk. YouTube's going to demonetize. YouTube's already going to
demonetize. A little too far.
YouTube's already going to be demonetizing us for because we're going to get copyright claimed by all 4 major sports leagues for mentioning their teams in a video. For sports leagues, sorry.
I mean, yeah.
Because that's just the way YouTube's algorithm works. Another team that isn't doing terribly, the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Legitimately, according to the NFL,
their last 2 games, they are. Their last 2 games, they are.
Yes, but the last 2 games they've been bad, but they're still the Cardinals on the one hand, but on the other hand, they're a lot better.
I mean, yeah, they got freaking DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of dicks.
And according to the NFL, the lead rankings,
you killed it, Joey.
NFL.com, in the league rankings, the Cardinals are in the top 10 in rushing.
Speaking of DeAndre Hopkins, how about them Texans?
Bill O'Brien is not going to be on his way out anytime soon.
You're right, because he's already out.
Exactly.
I want to talk about Bill O'Brien, but first, let's just talk again about Mahomes Monday Madness, man.
The second straight week. We did not think we would be seeing it in back-to-back weeks, boys, but reality's hit us, and even with the pandemic, it has become a reality.
Dude, he faced off and we could have had him versus
reality is often disappointing,
but instead he played freaking Brian Hoyer and the GOAT.
And still kept it somewhat close.
You got to admit that defense is pretty ferocious. I don't know how. Bill Belichick never has had a bad defense. He could have a mediocre offense, but he's literally never had a bad defense. Insane. He knows defense. It's insane. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a really good game. I could see
Cam Newton's been waiting for this moment to get out of Carolina and just be able to actually start popping off with the Patriots.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't.
That's probably what's going to happen, by the way.
Nah, we're not hoping for him to go the way of Josh Gordon or any of those other fools that he got. I don't know who else. Who do you have? Demaryius Thomas and come on, who am I thinking? Ocho Cinco and. You know what I'm saying?
They had Tim Tebow at one point also.
On the Patriots?
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
Fourth string. He was their 4th string quarterback, and it happened in either right after the Jets or right before the Jets.
So this wasn't when he was already on the Mets?
Oh, no. This happened before he began to play baseball.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still happened somehow.
No, but yeah. So who do you guys? So we know that finally Bill O'Brien got the head chopped off. They went for the head this time. It's good. But let's think about this. He's not the only coach that deserves this studious honor. So who else do you think is next on the list to get their head chopped off? Anyone come to mind? Josh, Sammy, anyone?
Yeah, I know that they just signed him. But quite honestly, Mike McCarthy has not helped that Cowboys team one bit. And after being praised as a Super Bowl winning coach who's worked with arguably the best quarterback of this generation, I don't think so. I think Brady still is, but Rodgers is definitely up there as a top 3.
No, I
Okay.
love Rodgers.
Okay, Rodgers has won multiple MVPs over the last few years. He's led them to Super Bowls, numerous NFC. I think that's the North, right? The North Division.
Yeah.
Numerous NFC North titles, uh, NFC Championship games, right? He's played on the biggest stage. He's won it all, and he's taken some tough losses. But the point is, they thought bringing him a guy like him, and if Rodgers is just all you get to start, you still forget about a bunch of incredible defenses he threw out. He coached guys like arguably some of the best players defensively we've seen over the last decade in Charles Woods, Sam Shields, Clay Matthews, Julius Peppers. The list goes on and on. Okay,
I get sad when I hear
to say the least. Okay, and they thought that Dallas, having gone to the playoffs, 2 or 3 out of the last 4 seasons, right? And being pretty good throughout that stretch, not just like slipping through. Like they seem to have a promising looking team, that he was going to be the step that they needed. Maybe Garrett was a little bit old for the job, or not old like from an age standpoint, but in the sense that he'd taken them there and not really gone past the second round with them after even starting there as a divisional, as one of the first 2 seeds that gets the bye and starts in the divisional round. It just, they had enough of him. And after bringing in McCarthy, and the high draft choice of CeeDee Lamb, right, and Gallup having a breakout year, and Coopers, who's always excelled in Dallas, and Ezekiel Elliott, who's always been a consistent running back, as bad as he's done things off the field, and Prescott, who's always shown a lot of promise. That defense got better, but I just don't see it. And I think that even though I don't remember what his contract was, but I would assume for a guy like McCarthy, it was multiple years, that if he doesn't do anything with this team this year, and not just nothing, but if they have a terrible year, because right now they're off to a 1-3 start, and it doesn't get that much easier for them. Quite honestly, everyone's saying, I think the Giants game is going to be a cakewalk for them. I don't think so. I really don't. I honestly think the Giants could pull out and win that game. And just like that, if they do, that's going to tie Dallas for last place right there, unless Washington loses, because then, and then they'll be tied 4 ways. But either way, I think McCarthy's out the door after this year if they don't do anything, and not even just doing nothing. Like if they go 8-8 and miss the playoffs, like I think they are not in for a good year right now. And I think if that's the case, McCarthy's not going to see any more time in Dallas.
Yeah, before I ask Sammy his answer, I just want to say, it's just funny because you say that of the Giants, because like I know they're not doing well this year, but they actually, it's really funny. They have a shot at a playoff thing just because the division is so bad.
The Eagles are 1-2-1 right now. Like I just want to like
the freaking football team was in the lead for like 2 weeks. The freaking football team, the team with no name.
They don't have a name. They don't have a name.
They don't have a damn name.
And that, like, to think also, like, there's so much, like, even though, like, every team is so bad in that division right now, or not playing up to par, as some of them do have, higher expectations, obviously. And some have taken huge hits, like Barkley's out for the Giants. I didn't expect them to be that much better without him, obviously, but, they're not in a good situation now. But even so, and to think that, like, Dallas could be 0-4, and in my opinion, probably should be. Washington should be 0-4, and the Eagles, in my opinion, should really be like 2-1-1 right now instead of 1-2-1. For all I know, the Eagles could have been 4-0. Like the one real like crazy loss that they have hard this year was opening week against the Washington football team.
Yeah,
it didn't have a name. That they were up 17-0 going into the half. And just like died in the second half. Like nothing got done. They got shut out. But really, like they got shut out, and it wasn't close either. So there's some really like laughable games. And then like the Giants choking away, 2 out of their last 3 games to arguably 2 of the best teams in the league. Or 2 teams that had 2 very high expectations in Chicago and Los Angeles. Somehow held those 2 teams to under 20 points each. Like that's what I don't understand. Like it's hilarious to think about it, because I don't know what to make of anything in this division at this point. It's so clueless and so confusing.
I think the problem everyone thinks that they think that those 2 teams are like amazing as a team. They just have the best defenses. Like Rams have Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, yada yada yada. Bears have Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn, yada yada yada. Like that's the keys here.
And now Lamar Miller, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how
That Rams offense was arguably the top offense coming into the NFL, though, over the last 3 years.
I know what you're saying, but like
to hold them to 90 points.
I think Goff's fallen
19.
off.
Sorry.
I don't think Goff's the same player anymore. I don't know what happened. Like he seems like he gets still.
Gurley's gone. That's what happened.
What?
Gurley's gone.
Anyway, yeah, but like Sammy, who's your thing for who's getting the can?
Who's out the door next, Sammy? Or likely to be out the door?
I genuinely hope this is the case, and I'm praying. No offense to him, but I hope and pray that the next guy, that the next coach in the hot seat is Vic Fangio.
What? Why? Because of the timeout?
No. For the Broncos, let's face it. For the Broncos, at least from what we've seen, even if he doesn't have much to work with, he has not been doing a very good job. He has boosting, like even defensively, he hasn't been boosting their team at all. I genuinely think that if Vic Fangio doesn't do anything this year or the year after, his head will be the Denver Broncos organization will be having his head, and he'll be out of there without a second thought.
But he got 2 wins. He got 2 wins.
Yeah.
He didn't actually, because
no, they're 1-3. They're
1-3.
Sorry, he got to win though. He got to win.
Yeah, he got to win, and like to say the least, it's not like they have the easiest. Their division alone. I don't know exactly who they've got.
They're playing the Chiefs and the Chargers and the Raiders twice a year. Like that's really hard. Like I don't think they'll win any of those games. That's terrible. Also, isn't
the only
Miller
win they
out for
got
the
was
year?
against the only one they got was against guess who?
The Jets.
Okay, like we understand that, but to say
but they're not supposed to win.
Third string quarterback.
Yeah, but exactly. The Jets were supposed to win. That's supposed to be a game the Jets win. Doesn't matter how bad they are. They're supposed to win that game because they're playing a third string quarterback and they're playing a defense with nobody except for Chubb because Miller's out. Like they're not dealing with a crazy pass rush. Like
let's also put it out there that even the Jets had an average of 12 points per game, and even though they put up over, I think it was over 20. I think it was like 28, right? Something like that. 37-28 or 38-27, something like that. Regardless of that their defense put up I think 13 of those points. And second of all, that their kicker, 15 points on the board from him.
That's crazy.
In just field goals, I think. I think if you include the PATs, he had 17. Which is more than half of what they had regardless.
That's unacceptable.
Vic Fangio, I love him. I love him at all. He's not fit to be a head coach.
All right. Well, I guess these are 2 very good answers. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to disagree because I think they're a little bit way off for 2 reasons. One, Mike McCarthy. I mean, first of all, I don't get the hire in the first place because Mike McCarthy's an ego guy. Why the hell would he go to Dallas of all places where Jerry Jones is the freaking guy that makes the calls? Like, how is that ever going to work? But there's no way that Jerry's going to give up right away. Like I don't think about that. He just got the job. And with Vic Fangio,
I mean, they had higher expectations though, even without him. So
true.
I can only
keep in mind. I do believe the Bears will be looking to get him back.
That'd be crazy.
That would not be crazy because Chuck Pagano has essentially degraded the defense from what it used to be.
But yeah,
Vic Fangio said it's not his defense; it's the Bears' defense. At the end of the day, it was his defense.
I mean, yeah.
And not only that, after the Bears gave him an extension, he said he wanted out.
He's like, get me the hell out of here.
Because he wanted a head coaching job. He wanted one.
You got one. You got one in the QB castration zone. Okay. You know,
they still put up over 30 against the Jets.
He was already in the QB castration zone.
Still want to get but while those are good picks, you got to admit there are 3 much better candidates to get the can.
Other than
the first one is the most obvious one, and yet I don't think it's going to happen. It's Adam Gase. He does not. I don't know how he got a job.
How does he have a job?
I don't know how he got a job here. I don't know how he got a job in Miami. What? He has 1 good year in Denver with Peyton Manning, and everyone thinks he's the fucking quarterback whisperer. Like, what are you talking about?
He also had a stint in Chicago.
Right, and that was all right too. But was that with Jay Cutler? 2010?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Two good seasons. But doesn't mean he could play a whole dude. I don't know, man. his freaking owner called him an offensive mind, and the next week Sam Darnold threw 2 pick sixes. Like, I don't know. He deserves to get
You're
fired.
seeing ghosts.
But but like, I feel like they actually want to tank so hard, so they're just gonna keep him. They're gonna wait the whole year and then fire him. Like, they're gonna draft Trevor, and then boom, new coach, whoever, I don't know, Mark McCarthy. But let's be honest, it's probably not him because they probably want to the firing is gonna be someone who's been there for a while. So the two people that come to mind,
They're freaking desperate.
yeah, exactly. So the 2 people that really come to mind that I actually think will get fired right away is Matt Patricia and Dan Quinn. I think Dan Quinn's getting fired. Matt Patricia's he deserves to get fired, but he hasn't been in the league in the head coaching job as long as Dan Quinn. Like, Dan Quinn, like, he's just gonna be synonymous with choking. Like, you can't have that culture. It's just not gonna work. He didn't even.
Joey, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you on Dan Quinn on a very, very huge note, because I said it in the last episode, not being like the first part of the second, but in the first ever podcast we did, I said that Falcons team has no problem with offense. And even against Green Bay, a team that's been playing great defense all year long and had great defense last year, right? Which is way more, and they're way more known for their offense this year, being the highest scoring team in the league. I don't think they've missed a quarter this season without scoring. Sorry, not without. They haven't missed scoring in a quarter all season long, as far as I'm still concerned. That offense still has the tools, the players, and the ability to be arguably the best offense in the league. Matt Ryan has been in the league for such a long time. He's been in the league since what, like 2009, I think he was drafted.
Actually, 2011, 10.
It wasn't 2011 because he played in the playoffs in 2010. So.
Okay. Yeah, it could be 2009.
Well, okay. So regardless of that,
but the dude has a noodle arm. He cannot throw. He cannot throw.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Anyway, going back to it, that offense is not the problem. That's 100% defense, and it is your responsibility as a head coach still. But I feel like with an offense that good, that wouldn't be a move that the organization makes to get rid of the head coach. Maybe it'd be a move on the defensive side of their team, because Quinn can run an offense. We know that clearly.
So you're saying they should fire the D coordinator?
Not necessarily a fire. Maybe they add someone to the team. Maybe they help bring. I don't know that it would necessarily be someone on the chopping block. I don't think the team really needs to make a move in firing someone. I think they need a little more experience. I'll bring someone in, maybe like I know that it'd be like a duo thing, right? But maybe maybe you bring in, like a little bit of extra support in that area.
I don't know.
But not necessarily to cut other people.
I don't think so. I think he's been lost ever since he lost Shanahan, because like that dude knew how to like he called the offense, Shanahan, and I'm like how do you know? I'm like, because I see how he played, how he coaches San Fran.
Well, even without him though, they're still doing well offensively.
Yeah, but they haven't been in the Super Bowl since Shanahan left. They haven't even been to the playoffs since Shanahan left.
What year did Shanahan leave?
The year after the Super Bowl.
Okay, they were in the playoffs that year. And they went to the divisional round.
Well, they haven't been in the Super Bowl. I mean, they haven't had that same success, is all I'm saying. It's just not. What about Matt Patricia? You got to agree at least Matt Patricia, right?
Now, Patricia should have gotten cut after 1 year. I don't know what they thought they were doing bringing him in.
Because people are against firing a guy only after 1 year. People hate doing that. The time I saw it happen was Arizona.
I knew as soon as they signed him, it was not going to go well. I didn't know what the heck they were doing. With all due respect,
I did. He's a freaking
mastermind. He worked with one of the best in the league, and arguably the best in Bill Belichick since he's been in.
But that's what they do. You always want to take chances on coordinators from Patriots. You know, they did it with Flores, also Miami. And
the Giants did it with Judge, but I don't think they're going anywhere this year. It's crazy how they still can, but I don't think they actually will.
I don't know, man. That division is really wide open. Obviously, Barkley coming out is giving me doubts, but I don't know. I wouldn't be crazy surprised just because the division's really bad this year. I've never seen it this bad. And freaking last year, it resulted in the last week in order to find out who was going to represent the East. So I'm just it's terrible. But I think we've said enough about football. I think we're ready to move on. Yeah.
All right, Joey, let us
let's do it.
My favorite sport is your requested in the first part of this episode.
Let's get into hockey, my boys. Okay. So Sammy, you want to do me a favor and just share screen with just get the draft, just the people who were in the draft, because the NHL draft was last night. And I want you guys to just look at the positions based on the teams. So Sammy, could you pull that up, please?
Can I pose a quick question to you guys real quick?
Sure.
Who do you think won the draft last night
Rangers.
from just the first round?
I legitimately think it
Rangers.
was the Rangers, maybe the Ducks. Or the Flames, because the Flames just kept like trading up, and then they even got their guy who they wanted, who they were probably gonna get anyway. So like, but yeah, one of those three teams. I think it was the Rangers. Well, we'll talk about it. Let's see.
No, just a quick question. You know, I have my pick set in stone for that as well.
I wonder who it is.
You know, I'm gonna spoil it. It's not really a spoil. Like, you both gave your answer. I think it was a tie between the Rangers and Ottawa. Ottawa had 2.
Oh yeah,
top
Ottawa
5
did very
overall
well.
picks.
Yeah, but like, can we please, Sammy? Can you pull up?
I can't. I don't know why, but I can't find it.
So I'll do it. Can you give me control to share screen?
You do have it. Or you
No,
should
I have. I have it. I know where it is. Like,
Oh, full draft tracker. Okay, hold on.
you could just do wiki.
Okay.
It took him that long to realize.
No, not that long. No,
Before
it's not
someone
that
told
hike.
him, it's not like he
It's that
remembered
I
it on
got
his
it.
own.
Okay, so no surprise here. Rangers take Lafreniere. Kings get a center. So we'll just go a little bit down the thing. So let's go to 3. So they get a does it say positions? I don't want to see positions.
Yeah, it does. I believe that the L is left wing and
L
R
is left wing.
Oh,
and
okay.
R
I
is
thought.
right
Okay, my
wing.
bad. Yeah. So they get a winger to pair up with Kachuk. What does Kachuk play again?
Kachuk is a center.
Kachuk is a center.
So they're gonna have this guy hopefully with Kachuk and I guess I don't know Duclair or something like that. What do you guys think about that? You think that's a good pairing?
I think that's
Like,
a pretty.
I think Duclair was traded.
What?
Either he was traded or he re-signed, unless I was thinking of someone else.
Oh, hold on. Now I have to check.
I honestly don't remember. I don't know.
Anthony Duclair.
What team is he on? Is he still on Ottawa?
Yeah, he's still on.
Yeah, no, he is still on Ottawa.
Okay, fine. Oh, it was
Gosh.
rumors. Sorry, it was rumors. Yeah.
Rumors. We don't got time for rumors.
There were rumors that he would have been traded to, I believe it was Colorado for Burakovsky. I think that was it.
I would lose my shit if that happened.
Anyway.
That's not a good trade.
Anyway, okay, yeah. Like,
I'd
it
be
didn't
so
happen.
mad.
Let's move on.
Anyway, so yeah, number 4, Detroit gets a left winger to go with
Dylan Larkin
and Bertuzzi.
And Mantha, don't forget.
and
Yeah,
Ryan
but
Mantha.
I'm guessing Bertuzzi is going to be on the first line with Larkin, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that I like that. I like actually where Eiserman's going with this. You know, he's trying to just do
Azirman.
Okay, we're not doing this. And this is actually, I don't think you guys know this, but this is a little bit of a shock. So the highest rated defenseman was Jamie Drysdale.
Yeah.
Right? Not just Sanderson. Sanderson had a bigger upside, but Drysdale was ranked higher in most drafts. So what do you think of Ottawa taking the higher risk defenseman? Like high reward?
I think I actually agree with taking Sanderson over Drysdale.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Drysdale, everyone's gonna say he's gonna be ready now. Like he's gonna be closer to being ready.
Yeah, that may be the case, but it's better to have, but you can never have too much preparation. It's better to have someone in waiting and getting ready than to have someone who says they're ready and might not, and in the end might not be ready at all.
Right. And then Ducks get Drysdale, big pick. And then this is where I find it funny because 7 and 8, the guys that they picked, they're not bad prospects at all. But there were 2 really good high-ranked prospects in most things that did not get picked, and that was Marco Rossi and Perfetti. And they both, Devils and Sabres, let both of them go. And I just got so pissed. And, like, I don't get why the Devils did that because, like, it's not like they're building around anybody really. Like, I get why Sabres got Quinn because they want to put someone with Eichel because Quinn can score. According to, like, his stats, he's ready to score. He's not exact, like, But I'm like, I feel like you should go for best. Like Rossi and Perfetti are just hyped so much. So like, I'm very happy.
But there's an issue with being
Well,
hyped so much.
then you throw 3 centers in with the Devils right over there. Like, you have 3 good centers on that team right now. You have Heischer, you have Hughes, and I think Gusev is also center.
Right. So why not have like 4 amazing centers?
10 minutes again?
Because that doesn't build anything around them.
There's no way that was 40 minutes.
No, it was 30 minutes. Well, whatever. we'll just put the last 5 minutes into a different topic.
I guess we are on the last.
Whatever. So let's just
continue. Let's just continue.
Let's just say, okay, we'll just go till we can. Okay. So Marco Rossi,
Yeah.
I think it's big because Bill Guerin, everyone was criticizing him. Oh, you trade Eric Stahl, right, for Marcus Johansson, and you trade Dubnyk and Donato for like a 3rd and a 5th. Like, what do you guys think? This is
the route that a lot of teams go. They just do a complete uprooting.
I think it's actually a great pick. I think they're gonna have a nice young second line with him and Kaprizov, so it's gonna be very exciting. And I'm actually really pumped that Winnipeg got Cole Perfetti. They got a center right now, like that's
in a situation that their cap is killing them.
Their cap is not killing them is an understatement.
Which is why they're trying to trade Laine, which I don't know where he's going, but that's why they're trying to trade him because they know it will help him a lot.
Not only we don't know where he's going, we don't know if anyone's gonna take him.
Yeah, I think the Devils are going to try to go for him. I don't know how, but I think.
I don't think so. And next up, we have a little bit of a surprise.
It wasn't a shock, but it was because
it was a shock because of how high it was taken.
Yes and no, because everyone is going to agree that there was only one amazing goalie prospect in the first round. Like, he was going to be taken in the first round for sure. We just didn't know where, and it was this guy, Yaroslav Askarov. And the problem was just like, who really needs a thing? So in my mind, I immediately went to like 3 teams. I went to like Minnesota. I went to Carolina because they're not really sure. And I went to like Oilers. I thought about Nashville later, but I'm like, I was a little bit surprised by Nashville. But then I'm like, oh man, Pecorine, he's kind of declining.
Yeah, but Saros is inclining and young also.
Right, but can Saros beat the guy?
I think he can. I think he's shown cases where he's done it in the past.
I've got a feeling that
teams either.
I've got a feeling that Yarrow might be either that UC might be exploring other options.
Could be. Okay, then Panthers get Lindell. Hopefully they don't ruin his career. Hurricanes get Jarvis, another center. So that's gonna be interesting.
This was a really center-dominated first round. Like, let's get that clear.
The centers did dominate first round, 100%.
Okay, but hold on. Let's just get to 14 because this really is really funny. The Oilers will now have like, I don't know, 5 or 6 centers on their roster now.
That's it.
It is kind of funny.
That's all they have.
Unless Nuge leaves. So like,
I could have sworn they had more.
No, but like, if Nuge doesn't leave, this is really embarrassing because like they're literally drafting this guy to play in the AHL. Also, really funny thing, I don't think you guys watched the rest of the draft at this point, but when Toronto made the pick, the time ran out, so they didn't know they had made a pick, and they're like, you want to take a timeout? And they're like, no, we're not going to take a timeout. And you know who announced the pick? It was Mitch Marner, and he freaking like messed up the name almost. It was pretty funny. He's like,
better than messing.
Rodion Amarov.
I got to go back and watch that. That's hilarious.
Oh, wait, watch it. It's really funny. Mitch Marner screwed up. It was very funny.
Better to screw up the name than to forget the name like the Flyers did with Claude Giroux.
That's funny. Yeah, and then 16, they get a defenseman, which I actually like because, you know, they gave up. I mean, they're trying to make moves on the defensive thing. They trade for Edmondson. They get rid of who they buy out. They bought out someone. I forgot who it was, like Eller or Alzner or something. Blackhawks get a left wing. I don't really know if I care that much.
Lucas Reichel.
He seemed all right.
I'm not so sure about this one. I'm going to be honest here. I think that the Blackhawks' biggest issue. No, I don't think it's abundantly clear. The Blackhawks' biggest issue is defense. I don't know why they ended up going left wing. They have enough
left wings.
They already have perfectly good wingers. They've got Alex DeBrincat. They've got Patrick Kane. They've got Dylan Strome. They've got.
He's a center, buddy.
I thought he's a center.
Regardless, he's an offensive player. I'm saying the Blackhawks did not need, even if he's not a winger, the Blackhawks already had enough offensive players to build up a solid offensive team. But the Blackhawks have are but the defense is aging. They need defense, and I don't know. I'm not so sure. I'm excited for Reichel. I know that also they have 3 incoming prospects, Ian Mitchell and 2 more that I forget. Ian Mitchell's a left winger.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know why they don't go with defensemen. There were a ton available at the time. Then Devils make a safe pick at center, another center. And then this is my favorite part of the draft. It's the first trade. Calgary has this pick, and the Rangers are at 22, and they trade up this pick and their 3rd round pick to get to this pick because for 2 reasons. One, Calgary might go for a defenseman, a really good one, because they're losing TJ Brody probably in free agency, and Giordano's declining in age. And they know if they don't pick him, New Jersey's picking him. So I just love the Rangers for moving up just to spite New Jersey, because New Jersey picked a guy. By the way, Sammy, I know you love names. Say this guy's name. He wasn't even, most guys didn't even put him in the top 90 for prospects.
Shakir Mukhamadullin?
Yeah, this dude, Mukhamadullin. Like, the dude was not even ranked in the top 90s for my most scouts. Like, really big shock. Speaking of really big shock, 21. Also, this guy was not even ranked in the top hundreds with Columbus. But whatever, the GM knows him, I think, Yerko Memorlian or whatever the hell his name is. And I'm just like, damn, Wait, can you go back up? Speaking of Columbus.
I just want to point out correction. He's a defenseman. Ian Mitchell is a defenseman.
Sammy, can you go down?
Yes.
A little. Okay. And then I'm just going to, because we don't have time, I'm going to quickly ask you guys, because we're going to round out the draft, but I'm going to talk about the one big trade, like the other big trade, since we're at Columbus. What do you think about Columbus trading Josh Anderson for Max Domi? Like, holy crap.
I think they both won that trade.
Yeah, personally. I think both sides.
I totally agree.
I think both sides benefited from
because Montreal. Sammy, I need to see the picks. Move up a little.
Montreal's missing a real power forward, which is what Anderson is.
Plus, Montreal thought that Domi was going to be the second line center below Philip Deneau, and then you have to remember, holy crap, Nick Suzuki, who they traded for Max Pacioretty. Oh my God, he's really good. And then Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who they drafted in like top 3 of like 2 years ago. Also pretty good. Who knew? So 3 centers, and you're not putting Domi on. You're not making
also
Domi.
Don't need, if you ask me, I think Domi's more of a fast. Like, they don't need the speed that he possesses anymore. They have guys who could still fill in for him in that category.
Yeah, but like you're either going to put Domi on the 4th line center, which is stupid, or you're going to put him on the wing, which he doesn't play. So like, this is perfect because now you have a guy to back up Pierre-Luc Dubois, and I'm excited. Anyway,
but I want to move on.
I just want to finish. I want to finish quickly.
Okay, fine.
Just really quickly. I'm just gonna say quickly, okay? Calgary has 22. They trade up down again because Capitals go for Hendrix Lapierre, which might be a full good story. It might be the worst pick they made in a long time because this dude had a lot of upside before, but he got 3 concussions in the QMJHL. So big risk. Which is why Calgary was fine with it because they got their guy who they wanted way before, and they got him anyway. Good guy. Flyers, blah, 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 blah. I like the picks. I actually don't like St. Louis's pick. I thought they should have gone for defense because Pietrangelo and Bouwmeester are out.
Yeah.
Ducks, good pick. Good pick by Senators. I really like the Knights pick. Dig the Stars pick. They could use another center. And yeah, I don't give a crap about what the Sharks did. Okay, next. What do you want to say? We have less than a minute.
I want to
close it out quickly?
I want to go to.
Yeah, we have less than a minute, so can you go quick?
Yep. If you would kindly notice, going through here, there's a team missing from all of these picks.
Who is it? Can you just tell me quickly because we have less.
The Arizona Coyotes. Do you want to know when their first pick was?
Oh, because of Hall and everything, and because of the scandal. Because of
pick number 111 was their very first pick in this draft.
Oh, damn. That means Ekman Larson's out.
Larson's going to go, I believe.
All right, guys.
I want to point one last thing out also. The
Islanders. Josh, we don't have time. Josh,
the Islanders didn't have a first rounder either, if I remember correctly. I don't think
that's true because JJ Pageau.
Yeah.
JJ Pageau, so suck on that, Islanders. Okay, guys. Let's close it out. Okay, Sammy, get ready to turn up the recording. Thank you for joining the JJ Sports Podcast. We'll see you next week on Wednesday. Bye.
All right. See you guys.
See you. Bye.
Peace.